have, okay, let's try it again.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Concordia on Air. I'm Maya.
And I'm Jackson. And tonight,
on news, a pink pigeon passes away.
And more news, we tell you more about Microsoft and Google.
And on A&E, a Grammys recap.
all that and more on Concordia on Air. Well,
Hey,
it's another day
We're back.
without Mikey.
Without
in
Mikey.
Roku City today.
Feeling pretty neutral about it, to be quite honest. If I can be completely honest, how do you feel right now?
Well, Godzilla didn't step on my home today, so that's.
Well, that's a plus.
I'll count my wins where I can get them.
This is true.
But
this is
don't
true.
worry, we did not murder Mikey.
We did not.
We know he
and
said
I know
last
he
week
said,
if we
here's the
didn't
thing.
see
We are
him.
in a really awkward position right now because if you remember correctly, last week's show ended with Michael saying, if I'm not back next week, it's because one of these guys killed me.
That is not true. As a part of Mikey's new contract,
true.
where he gets paid less, because remember, all of his corn cobs have been dispersed to
450.
Maya.
Yes, I get paid now. I get a whole 100, and I'm really, really
wonderful-
psyched about it. Yeah.
Our wonderful news people are also getting
I know.
paid. The people behind the scenes, Brendan over 6 blocks away at the arts and entertainment set is getting paid corn.
It's really
Everybody's
exciting.
getting corn, but as a stipulation with that, Mikey now gets a lot of vacation time. We pay him less, we get him less, I guess. I guess he's still in his Madonna phase. He's just in his unpaid Madonna phase.
Yeah, and honestly, I respect him for taking the time off. I mean,
Yeah.
he's put the effort into the show. Like, he can go, I don't know, where even is he right now?
He is currently traversing the country in a trombone.
Oh, okay.
Inside of the
I
trombone.
could not remember if it was like the Sousa or if it was something else in this situation, but thank you for clarifying.
Fun fact, for people at home that don't know, every single trombone and tuba comes with a person inside of it. And when you blow into it, it's not your air. It is that
It's
person
actually them
screaming
going,
in pain.
Wah.
Yep, they're
Yes.
screaming in
I
pain.
actually played trombone for 5 years. I don't know
Yeah.
if you knew this, but I played trombone for 5 years when I was in middle school and high school, so I can confirm this. And my guy and I, his name was Jason. We got really close, and so it was really sad when I gave up the trombone for choir. He felt a little betrayed because the thing about singing is you are the little guy standing in the trombone for that. So, yeah, we really miss Jason. I think he's at some Schmidt music down in the cities now. So.
You see,
Hey.
Jason only felt betrayed because over those 5 years he developed Stockholm syndrome from being tortured every day.
What can
being
I
shoved into
say?
a-
What can I say?
a
What can I
brass
say about that?
instrument for 5 years.
Yeah. What about you? What instrument? Did you play an instrument in like middle school and elementary and
not.
whatnot? You didn't play a single instrument, not even
No.
like a recorder or something?
I did recorder as a mandatory
Okay,
unit in
yeah.
like 5th grade music.
But no like clarinet?
No.
No like hot cross buns
I
on
did
like
choir in 7th
violin?
grade, but then
Okay.
I fell asleep during a concert
Oh.
and decided this wasn't for me. I did have a solo in Go the Distance,
Oh
though.
wow. That's exciting.
I can't remember what verse I
Is this
sung.
before you couldn't sing or is this like
This is
an
why I
alternate
can't
Jack?
sing.
Okay.
This is why I
you ruined your
can't
voice
sing.
that bad from that
No, I
one
developed
solo.
a public fear
Oh,
because I
okay. That also makes sense.
7th grade me couldn't commit.
No, it's okay. 7th graders. You know what I say about 7th graders?
They suck.
Yep. Anyways, so you work with 7th graders though, don't you, at the summer camp? Don't
Sometimes.
You? Yep, me too. Here's the
Sometimes.
thing: 7th graders are scary. They're a different breed. They're in between. I mean, yes, they're in between 6th and 8th graders. I was just gonna mansplain 7th graders to everybody, but then I realized I think everybody knows where 7th grade falls. But they are in between 6th and 8th graders in a sense where they are completely different people than both other groups. Like 6th graders and 5th graders and 4th graders are the same, but 7th graders, yikes. Scary
Different breed.
stuff.
Different breed. There's a reason why people at my junior high, we called the 7th graders Sevies.
Oh.
I was only a Sevi for a year.
That sounds a little. I don't know how I would feel if you had like labeled. I don't know how I like that, but we didn't have that. We had Actually, no. I also went to a junior high, so it was
I
6,
went to a
7,
junior
and
high.
8. Yeah.
It was
so
7,
it was
8,
different.
and 9 though.
Yeah, no, mine was 7. No, you're right. It was 7, 8, and 9, and then it was a middle school. Now it's a middle school now, so
That's
people
what
don't
also happened to
understand
mine.
being a 9th grader amongst 6th graders. That was weird. That was weird. Like I was reading Romeo and Juliet, and then like going down the hall, and they were playing with like the little like red and yellow blue blocks in math class. I was like, what is this? Yeah.
Well, you know what this is.
This is Court on Air.
Yep, and Iron Man just flew into our studio.
Oh.
He's fighting Godzilla, which you can learn more about on the news.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining on our news desk tonight. My name is Andy.
And I'm Kay. Recently in New York City, a domesticated pigeon was found at Madison Square Park and was brought to the Wild Bird Fund. The shot came when people realized that the pigeon had been dyed pink before released into the wild. The bird was named Flamingo for its similar color and had been at the Wild Bird Fund for mere weeks before he passed away. It's believed that the pigeon inhaled deadly toxins from the chemicals that were used to dye its feathers, and the Wild Bird Fund is warning people against releasing domesticated birds into the wild as they don't have experience getting food for themselves or protecting against predators.
Google on Wednesday announced a new feature powered by artificial intelligence that seemed to be a ramped-up battle with Microsoft to maintain its dominance of the web search industry. The two Silicon Valley titans are rushing into the space after ChatGPT caught the imagination of web users around the world with its initial ability to generate essays, speeches, and even exam papers in seconds. Microsoft has announced a multi-billion-dollar partnership with ChatGPT maker and unveiled new products on Tuesday, while Google tried to match up a day earlier by announcing its Bard chatbot.
Concordia's organization SALT, also known as Students and Alumni Linked Together, has a special activity planned for this Valentine's Day season. February 9th and February 10th, from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., they will be selling Valentine's grams in the atrium. When you check out the table, you will have the opportunity to sign up to volunteer at Hope Blooms with Cobb Alumni. The organization states this is a great opportunity to connect with alumni while spreading joy to the Fargo-Moorhead community.
Angry protesters attacked banks on Tuesday in a city southwest of Nigeria over cash shortage, according to the police and residents. The tension continues to flare in the country 3 weeks before the presidential election. According to the police, the riots broke out after customers waited in long queues to withdraw cash to no avail. Nigeria has been crippled by fuel shortage for weeks, and cash dispensers are running empty after a sudden currency swap. Although it's one of the largest crude oil producers, the country is short of refining capacity and mostly imports fuel from Europe. The country will go to the ballots on February 25th to elect a successor of the current President Buhari, whose 2-year tenure term comes to an end.
Earlier today, New Zealand authorities found 3.5 tons of cocaine floating in the Pacific Ocean. It has been one of the largest seizures of illegal drugs in the country. There have been no arrests, but the authorities have estimated the cocaine's value to be approximately $315 million. New Zealand police claim they will continue investigating to find out what exactly happened and to make sure it doesn't happen again.
And Turkey's stock exchange market has sunk by nearly 15% the 3 days since a devastating earthquake hit southern parts of the country. Trading the main index dropped by 7% in early dealings, according to Turkey's Central Securities Depository. The drop led to suspension of the stock market, piling further pain into an already fragile economy. Early Monday morning, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocked parts of the southern Turkey and northern Syria, claiming more than 9,300 lives so far. And now to a package on handling.
Olin Campus Center, there is an exciting project at foot. Concordia fourth-year student Ian Scheel has been hard at work on a new art installation which he is completing for his senior thesis project. This mixed media sculpture set began as a simple conversation with Concordia faculty member Dwight Mickelson.
Yeah, so it started out as an idea. We were discussing just figuring out what kind of thing logistically could go in this space, because it is a really big area, and I'm one student, and I have a year just about to build it, so it needed to be, you know, space filling, but not so enormous I couldn't get it done.
I think this experiment, Ian's experiment, is is integrative and experimental, and there's nothing more interesting in the arts to bring questions and intrigue and wonder to a space, especially a public space.
Shot around some ideas, decided on one, made a mock-up maquette hanging above my table, presented that to Allison, who's the building manager at the Science Center. Got the go-ahead from her. She said, yeah, love it, love the idea, let's figure out how we're going to fund this.
The inspiration to the 9 to 12 installation structures comes from early scientific drawings. The aim is to culminate every science so anyone in the ISE can relate and see their discipline in the forms.
Anything, it's all in there. And then once that, I'm comfortable with how much stuff is on the center, then is the task of cutting out all the pieces for the cage, printing all the corners, assembling the cage to make sure that works, taking it all apart again, and then sewing every corner of the cage to the corner, its corresponding corner on the sewn structure, so that once it's actually time to assemble it over in the Science Center, all I have to do is take this big pillow, which all of these plastic pieces are sewn onto, and put all the struts, all the edges into it. And in that action, it inflates up to its full size and is ready to be hung from the ceiling.
This body of art will be installed over Spring Break 2023 in the Integrated Science Center, so keep your eyes peeled as the sculptures make their way to the ceiling of the Jolicoeur Commons.
I think it's really important to have art around the campus. In fact, I think it should be in almost every room of the campus in some way.
Ian's work began on this project at the end of the 2021-2022 school year when he was awarded an ERSCA grant to see the project through.
You know, there's a ton of art that comes out of the Olin Center for the Arts, so we want to find places on campus to display them in, and hopefully this project kind of opens the door to doing that more in the future.
His work has only just begun, and the project will take the next 6 months to complete. There is excitement buzzing as a new piece of student art makes its home on campus.
Hello?
Hello?
Maya?
Hey, sorry, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm on my way. I'll be there.
You're stuck in traffic?
I'm stuck in traffic.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'll be there. I'm
All right.
coming.
Sounds good.
Sorry, there's a lot of cars out here. It's
Sounds
a busy
good.
event. So, okay, give
All
me
right,
just a
see
minute,
you.
okay? Okay.
So tonight on A&E, we are going to do a recap of the Grammys.
I made
Oh,
it.
Maya's here.
One
In
thing that
true-
Beyonce and I have in common, we are the most iconic women in the world. And we're always stuck in traffic. What can I say?
Can get stuck
What
in
can I say?
traffic.
This Fargo-Moorhead traffic this time of day, it can be harsh.
8th is treacherous.
It is treacherous. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well.
I could be better after that performance of the Grammys, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that. Let's unpack that. So
Okay.
the Grammys just happened. It was super duper exciting. Personally, I didn't watch, but I did refresh Twitter about every 30 seconds. So I think that's like the same exact thing as actually
Pop
watching
Crave.
it live. Yeah, Pop Crave. What's the other one? Pop Buzz,
Mm-hmm.
and you know all those. I was keeping up. What about you? You watched it,
I
right?
did. I watched it. I watched it with my mother. I was at home. So I watched it with my mother, and just like old times, she was having a good time as well. She started crying a couple of times. You know, she's just emotional.
Moms. Yeah. My mom also cried at the Grammys, I think. And I don't know, I wasn't there with her, but I just know that if she was watching, she probably also cried. That's a mom thing for you.
It is. It's a mom thing.
What about you? Any moments that made you cry? Any highlights?
Highlights, obviously Beyonce being the all-time Grammy winner.
She is the Grammy.
She tied
is
it.
Grammy.
She is Grammy. Beyonce is Grammy.
Yes.
She tied it with that first Grammy she won of the night, and then is now 2 ahead of everyone else in the game.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Such a powerful woman. Like, and I think we forget that sometimes. And then we see stuff like that
Yes.
happening on the Grammys
Yes.
compared to everyone else who's just like, obviously, all these musicians are fantastic. They're at the freaking Grammys. But Beyonce, that's just a little different.
You're gonna try another mic.
We got another mic here.
Yeah, we're gonna try that. You can keep going.
So
Okay.
Beyonce, obviously,
Now you can hear me talk about Beyonce.
Beyonce obviously killed the game
Two different
this year
channels.
with the Renaissance album,
This is true. I actually haven't listened to the whole
and that's okay.
thing.
And that's okay. Everyone knows a couple of them. Cuff It, obviously. Break My Soul,
Yep, I know
obviously.
that one.
She
The
dropped
Honey
that.
song, I listened to that
Honey,
one this
Pure
morning
Honey.
in the shower. Yeah, really good. Yeah, so she swept. But she
did.
didn't sweep as much as
She didn't.
people wanted.
No.
Nor were expecting. So how are you feeling about Mr. Styles getting Album of the Year over Miss Knowles?
I mean, I personally do not have a strong liking for Mr. Styles, but you do have to give him some respect with the tour that he just came off
This
of.
is true.
Because
my boy was working hard.
How many nights? 15 nights in a row?
I don't even know. I don't understand how anybody can do the same thing 15 times in a row, especially perform a Harry Styles concert.
To be fair, he does do a lot of the same things.
This is true. He does the little... Does he dance? Does he ever dance?
I don't think so.
Does he have
He just
choreo,
walks
except for the
around.
running on the little
And
spinny?
he walks around like a fish.
Yeah,
when
and then
he's-
he like spits water sometimes. I know too. Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised that Harry won Album of the Year. Not that it's a bad album, but I think in comparison to his other two albums, not anything close to what we've seen put him. I do think he's a fantastic musician. I think Fine Line and his self-titled album showed that. I think Harry's House is a bit of a sellout and shouldn't have won Album of the Year, but that's okay. What do I know? I'm just a random icon living in Moorhead, Minnesota. What do I know?
Correct. Icons only.
This is true. You too. I'm really happy you're here. Yeah, Brendan's debut today. This
I
is really
am.
exciting.
Yes.
Do you want to maybe you should introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi,
while we're
I'm
here.
Brendan.
Hey.
I'm new here. I love music.
Great. Well, good
Next.
thing that's what we're talking about. Let's take a moment. Okay, so we've got some images behind us. These were my standout moments of the night. And once again, I didn't watch the Grammys, so these are the things that I saw on Twitter that I was like, yes, that. Miss Shania Twain with the 101 Dalmatians polka dot moment in the right corner.
And the red hair.
wig.
The red hair.
It's giving high camp, and
It
that
was.
is what I want to see at the
It
Grammy
was.
Awards.
It was giving.
I don't want to see the same black ball gown. I
No,
want to
ma'am.
see the fashion. I want to see the style. I want to see the fun. I want to see the glitz and the glam. I think Madonna's hair
Madonna
too.
was giving. She was giving Britney Spears in the 90s.
She was. I love the little thing, and I also just love a woman in a suit. It's just like my favorite thing in the world. Yeah.
And let's be honest, when Lizzo posted that Twitter video of her saying, "My mic is always on,"
her mic was on.
It was on.
And it was
you listen
on.
to those vocals.
My goodness. Minnesotan queen, first of all. I don't know
Minnesotan.
technically, but I will. She's always going to be a Minnesotan queen in
Yes.
my head. I adore Lizzo. And my favorite thing about this was the whole time she was talking about, she was talking about how much she loved Beyonce. She was like, I skipped school for you. You were like, you made me be who I am. And I don't think Lizzo realizes yet, but she is the Beyonce for so many people.
Correct.
And so many people watching and so many people in that audience are looking up to her the same way that she looks up to Beyonce. And she just doesn't even realize it yet.
No.
She's a legend. Not even in the making. She's already become a legend.
She is
We love
legend.
Lizzo.
Legend Lizzo.
Yeah. Speaking of legend and speaking of firsts, Miss Kim Petras and Sam Smith had a fantastic performance that the conservatives got a little peeved off by.
They were a little upset.
yeah.
And Kimmy was the first openly transgender woman to ever receive a Grammy.
And Slay Kim.
So
Slay Kim got to throw in a little shout out to Sophie as well, who's another. Unfortunately, she has passed on recently. She's another trans musician who was making great strides and made strides that Kim got to build off of. And so I'm really happy that she acknowledged what Sophie did for the industry. Also, let's just take a minute to appreciate Gottmik and Violet Chachki as their arm candy there. Look at the red.
entourage.
Look at the red.
The entourage.
It's really quite everything. And I mean, I love these two. These two are some of my favorite drag artists in the industry right now. So getting to see them in like a mainstream sort of way, especially Gottmik, who's only recently come off of Drag Race a couple years ago.
So young.
Super exciting. Yeah, look at them. And I just love a color coordinated. And I love that not only the carpet look, but also the performance look. It's the high camp I want. It's the high camp I want and need. Okay, above them we have the literal goat in the singer-songwriter community, Bonnie Raitt, who I was so happy that she took
Yes.
home Song of the Year, because it truly is Song of the Year. And honestly, that song is very well might be Song of All Time. I do think that one of her most famous tracks, Thank You, is probably the song of all time in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. I think she's fantastic. Her career too, she has not taken a break.
Never.
Since
She doesn't
she
take breaks.
debuted in like the early 70s. Like she has been cooking and she has been making such high quality music. So anyways, I'm really happy.
When she won,
She's shocked.
my mother, she was shocked.
She was shocked.
My mother was bawling. My mom said, crying on
It
the
makes
couch.
me so happy, and it makes me have a little bit of faith in the Grammys, because we know that, like, yeah, there's some stuff, like, it's not necessarily a 100% accurate
No.
rendition of the best in the music
I mean,
industry.
when Harry and Taylor win, yeah, we know it's not the best. of the
Yeah, and
best.
we know that also, like, there's, like, potentially people buying off their nominations and whatnot. Here's the thing. I'm going to pick on my girl Gail for a moment. Listen, Gail is a really great up-and-coming musician. Should her song ABCDEFU be nominated for Record of the Year? Or was it Song of the Year? Song of the Year?
Song of the Year.
Either way,
No.
I don't.
But it's
think so.
okay.
I think it was great, and I think it's fantastic that
Proud
she
of her
is
to get
getting.
out.
She's getting there, and she's opening for Taylor. But there's so little spots to get up there, and seeing that, which was kind of just like a viral hit. I don't know, but I also feel
TikTok.
like we're going to see that a lot in the Grammys in the
Especially-
future. We're going to be seeing these TikTok
Yes.
hits and these
Yes.
viral hits that aren't getting radio play, but are getting on the rounds on the TikTok algorithm and whatnot.
We also have to really talk about how the Grammys set up, not Beyonce, Adele meeting
if you will.
Adele.
Adele.
She met her all-time celebrity crush, The Rock.
The Rock,
The
Mr.
Rock.
Johnson, Dwayne Johnson. That was so exciting.
It was.
That
She was so excited.
That's a really fun pair in my brain. I really like the combo of Adele and The Rock. I think they have like a similar, like, sort of like family friendliness to them, but also like they're taken very seriously by
Yes.
the industry and like have put in the work and are
Is The
just
Rock-
like really kind people.
Is The Rock single?
I'm not sure.
Because Adele is. I know she is.
Oh.
So
Ooh, that could be.
You never know.
Hey, we called it.
We did.
Called it
We're calling it here.
We're calling it here. Who else do we have? I do want to take a minute to acknowledge not just Taylor Swift, but mostly Jack Antonoff, because as we know, Taylor Swift was not nominated and did not take home any Grammys for Midnights. I don't
that's
really know
okay.
what the deal with it. And that's fine. She literally just released Midnights and just had that whole tour thing. So I think she's
There's
fine.
next year for
but
her.
Jack Antonoff did win a big producer award, and I do want to take a minute to say I think he is the producer of the generation. He's fantastic. His work with Lorde, his work with the
Correct.
1975, his work
Correct.
with Lana Del Rey, his work with
Correct.
Taylor Swift. He is such a good producer. He is so good, and I think a lot of the praise that Taylor gets for her music should be going directly to Jack instead. But I mean, it's what can you do? People don't look at the producers the way they look at the artist.
And
So
that's okay.
I'm proud of you, Jack.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Round of applause.
Good work.
Lastly, let's take a look at these two absolute
Ladies and gentlemen,
icons.
her.
Ladies and gentlemen, her and SZA. SZA obviously looking fantastic. Her always looking fantastic, and she is part of the Academy itself. So she's part of the people who she's on the board of the Academy.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Good for her.
So
that's good. That makes me take it a little more seriously,
Yeah.
knowing that she's up there. Yeah. Didn't Grimes used to be on the board too? Or something? Did you see the thing? Oh, we can talk about the Instagram comments if we have enough time. But let's finish talking up about her.
So SZA obviously not up for anything this year, but with the release of SOS, she will be up for many awards
True.
next year.
When was the cutoff for this season of Grammys?
I am not.
I don't know.
I don't know
but
either.
next year we'll see
Next
her.
year we will see
Yes. Oh wow.
And
what an album.
What an album. What an album.
Anyways.
And I mean her.
What is her doing?
She is chilling. She hasn't released very much
Yeah, that's what I was
recently,
gonna say.
but that's okay because they're both absolutely beautiful humans,
Yeah.
and I'm living for both of them.
Love it. Well, who do you think got snubbed from nominations? Because I have a lot of artists who I think should have been on there that didn't get on there. First of all, Best New Artist, Samara Joy, so
Yes,
deserving of it.
so good.
Super huge for vocal jazz. She's fantastic. But I was really disappointed that I didn't see my girl Ethel Cain up there in
No
Best New
Ethel.
Artist, or Muna.
No Muna either.
Muna is like one of the biggest new bands at the moment. I mean, they're getting so huge with their clout from Phoebe and from
Yes.
Taylor Swift. I was really shocked. They dropped a fantastic record this year, and I've seen them twice, and I'm seeing them another 2 times this year. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter. But what about you?
The only one for me that I was really, really upset about was Dance Pop being Charlie XCX with
Yep.
Crash, because that was cultural
Well,
reset.
you know what Charlie XCX
Cultural
said?
reset.
She said, me not being nominated for Crash was like Mia Goth not being nominated for Pearl or X. They don't want to see hot evil girls
They don't.
succeed.
They don't.
And then Grimes said a whole bunch of stuff. You should go read that Instagram comment.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to leave it there, but if you want to go see what Grimes had to say, go to Charlie XCX's Instagram section. Overall, fun, entertaining Grammys.
It was a good time.
We had a good time. I've had fun talking about it with you. Haven't
I
gotten to
enjoyed it.
process it yet, so
No.
I'm glad. Well, anyways, this has been another episode of Concordia on Air. Once again, we will be back same time, same place with more fun news and interviews and packages and arts and also
So much
entertainment.
more.
And maybe even Michael Harvilla.
Oh?
Who knows?
Will he come back?
Will he come back? We'll find out later. Anyways, see you guys next time.
Oh, oh.